And then you can go like this and get bounces. If you go like that, that's the blood splatter. That's like, I know you were 6 foot tall and you stand from an upper angle.
Oh yeah.
But if you drop it, oh, that's what I wanted.
Oh yeah.
Okay, take it back. I tap my finger into the white and I have a healthy amount of paint on there. This is going to drive you nuts. This palette isn't going to be clean ever. And I'm going to go into turquoise, because it makes me happy. And I'm going to just paint. Kind of just go back and forth. And I'm picking up the color, and I'm picking up that gesso. And it seems very flat, so I'm going to pick up some white. Now I'm going to change that gesso, or change that color, so it has different value. If you paint like a brush, it wastes the whole momentum of painting. And you'll see just by the nature of there being a lot of paint and a little paint, and this is dirty in English when I say it, but the practice of dry fingering, like dry brushing, is a really good one to get into, because you can actually take the paint and not have to go back into it, but stretch it across. And because I know all these colors make nice together, now I'm going to go into a little bit of green, a little bit of the white, and I'm going to start blending it. That back stitching technique where we're saying go into the green but take it back down and take it back up, and you can do this thick or thin and blend those colors together but not make a whole new color.
Okay, so the footage that you just saw was of Donna Downey's visit at Scrapbook Central, and here is one of the books that we played with. This is a Donna Downey fabric book, and the book is basically a fabric cover, and these are all handmade, by the way, and it's got her signature tag right here so that you know it's a Donna Downey product. And inside are different pages. It's actually Basil cardstock with some inclusions, various inclusions in the middle. So I'm going to walk you through the book very quickly. These two pages are comparisons. On this side there is no gesso, and on this side there is gesso. On both pages we used gelato sticks, and so we basically scribbled all kinds of colors on the two surfaces. And then we dipped our finger in water and then we just finger painted. So that's one of the background that we did. And this is the same thing. This side is not gesso, this side is, and we used acrylic paints and we just painted with our fingers. This page is not gessoed and we stamped with gelato. So we took one of our foam stamps and we colored the image with gelatos, and then we sprayed it, we misted it with water, and then we stamped directly on the page, and it gives you that cool water color effect. Really like that. Now this page is not finished yet. I was planning on working on it this week, but I got sick again, so it'll have to wait. What we started out with is a piece of rope. She gave us each a piece of rope, and then we glued it down with some quick dry adhesive. And on the inclusion here, I don't know if you can see, if I zoom in, you can probably see here, these are paper hole reinforcements. And then we covered everything with gesso. And then we took India ink, which mine comes in a bottle like this, and by the way, I do not recommend that brand. I'm sorry if I'm not in favor of that name, but my my squeeze stop here, there's something in it that prevents it from squeezing it. So what we were told to do is take this, the drip cap, and then draw something over everything. Oh, I'm sorry. First we needed to do the background. So I did the background with the cool tones, and I also included some gesso with the colors to get various tints of the colors. And then we drew with India ink. But because my bottle, I couldn't control the drip top, I wasn't really satisfied with the drawing, but anyways, I mean, it is what it is. It's a practice. It's still fun. I was still able to do what I wanted it to do. But I'm quite proud though of the fact that I included, I made sort of like the design to run through the inclusion, so when the inclusion is on this side, I can still see the whole tulip and the leaves, and if I switch it to the other side, I get the whole design still. So that was a lot of fun. I was supposed to do some finger painting, like dotting with the fingers and some colors in gesso. I didn't have time to finish it. Oh well. So that is this one. This one is a miss. We were supposed to do image transfer. It didn't work for me, but there's a lot of texture and it's gessoed, so I'm going to do something over that eventually. This one I really, really like, and this one is using oil pastels. So this heart here is actually a canvas heart that she gave us. It was sticky back canvas, and we used the oil pastels, and then we just mixed the colors with our fingers. So there's like orange and red on this the heart, and obviously before we did no, actually we glued the heart first. I have to mention though that, yeah, I think it's gessoed, and we also did the background with oil pastels, and I felt like it wasn't popping as I wanted it to, even when I added the charcoal pencil, went around the heart, and I wasn't really totally satisfied with it. So then it came to me that if I add some flourishes, then it will bring everything back to life, and that's exactly what it did. I added some, with the charcoal pencil, I did some flourishes, and then I took the end of a brush and I dipped it in gesso, and I just dotted everything, and I like the way it looks. I really think it's cool. So that's my heart. I really like this one. This one is also a work in progress. We were told to play with different textures, fabric, mainly fabric, and ripped pieces of paper. So, and then we gave it a gesso wash. So we glued everything down, and then it was covered in a gesso wash. Gesso wash is obviously gesso and water. So eventually I'll just do something over that. This was just some remnant paints that I had on my craft sheet, and I just swished it around, but most of the paint was dry, so it didn't give it that nice effect that other people in the class had, so I was quite jealous. But anyways, I'll do it eventually. And that is it for this book. So that was one of the workshops. Next we have another one of Donna's art journal. This one is made of, you know, a regular rigid cover, but this is her design. And in this one, this was the 40 Techniques video, and we did a whole bunch of backgrounds using different media. So this is gelato drippings. This is the salt texture technique on gesso paper. Here that you can see here, I've got some discoloration, which is a lot of fun. On this side here, this one is tough to see. I don't know why my colors kind of came out like, eh. It is UD Gelato Resist. This is UD Acrylic Paint Resist, so same kind of principle. It's really fun. This is UD Distress Stain Resist. That was kind of a weird thing for me. It was just Distress Stain Press. Mine didn't turn out quite well, and also because I had a burgundy and a green, it kind of turned into this icky color that I didn't like. So anyways, but that's okay. Those were the colors that were available to us at our table. This is Distress Stain over stencils. This is Distress Stain over wet gesso. So we dripped some Distress Stain, and then we took a straw and we blew onto the wet ink, and it made these cool kind of like spider legs. Really like that. Fun technique. This is the same technique here with the India ink while it was wet, and this is just like dripping the India ink over the gessoed background without blowing with a straw. That was just using the dropper of the ink and writing. I wasn't a big fan of that. This one was with a brush. Again, I didn't quite know what to write and turned out like it was a big old mess. But still, it's fun to know that that technique is still available to me. You know, when I manage to buy another bottle of a different brand and then I have a better dropper, then maybe I'll be able to use the India ink right off the bottle. Because I quite like the idea. This is, oh, I love pan pastels. This is pan pastel over stencils using different colors, and this is just to show the difference. This is the pan pastel as a background, and then you spray with the Spectra fixative, and you use the same stencil and you add more color to it so that the colors don't blend. You get that true color in the background that stays the same because it's already fixed, and then you can add the color over top and it won't mix. So it's just showing us the difference between non-sprayed and sprayed. This is just pan pastel in 3 layers. And I forgot to spray afterwards, so the black dots kind of got transferred on this page, but that was okay. I mean, it's still fun. This is Versamark Resist. Oh, actually, it's not a resist. I call it a reverse resist, and it is stamped with Versamark directly on the page, and then you use pan pastel over it, and the pastel will grip where the Versamark ink is and makes it darker. So it's a very subtle effect. I really like that. And I also added some yellow here just to make a contrast and to kind of complement the other page. This was fun. This was using a roll of toilet paper, and we basically added some paint onto our craft sheet. We took the roll of toilet paper, rolled it into the ink, and then rolled it onto the page. A lot of fun. Quite dirty hands, but that was fun. On here, we took another roll of toilet paper and we added some rubber bands. It's fun. This is just tube stamping with acrylic paint. You know, using stuff that you find around the house. Fun. And this was tube stamping as well, but instead of keeping the tube round like that, we gave it a squeeze and it kind of turned into this leaf shape. And so I drew flowers and leaves. Fun. That is using bubble wrap with paint. This is using, here on this side, here's the plastic wrap stamp off, and then the plastic wrap stamp on. Looks like mountains. I like that. Like if you put it here, it looks like ski hills somewhere in the Alps, except the colors are all wrong except for the blue. This is corrugated texture, so we had a piece of cardboard. We sort of peeled off one of the layer to reveal the corrugation, and we added some paint on it and then just stamped different times. This is sponge painting. Nothing special about it, but it's kind of a cool effect to create some texture. This is fork carving. Again, you know, like use whatever you've got at home. Sometimes it's just a matter of looking at your day-to-day things, utensils, whatever, in a different light. This is a palette knife painting, again on a gessoed surface. And these, you know, these are just background techniques, which are a lot of fun. This is embedded book text, so she was showing us how to incorporate the book text in a page with gesso, with colors, without seeing the seam of the book text. And let me zoom in on this. So as you can see here, this is a very seamless transition from the actual page, because the book text that I put down is only this big. On here, I wasn't so successful at it, but we were told to embed a photo. I mean, I could have done a better job at hiding the seams, but that's okay. And then we dripped some India ink over it. And this one is acrylic spray paint. She was showing us how to do your own sprays with acrylic paint. It's just finding the right recipe for whatever paint that you may have at home. So that was a negative space, and this is a positive space. This is kind of like a mask, and this is a stencil. But the same thing, it's spray painted. Love, love, love this. This is masking tape. So we covered the whole page with masking tape. This one is just strips of masking tape, and this one is random pieces that I ripped with my hands, and then I glued them down and we gesso, not gesso, but we just painted over that. I really like the texture. It's so much fun. This page is really thick. I thought I had 2 pages, but it's just one because of the masking tape. On this one here, this is paper collage, so we took basically different kinds of pattern paper, and then we covered the whole thing with just paint over scraps paper. So it's a good way to use your scraps of pattern paper just to create some texture. Even though you don't see like the original colors, it just adds to the texture. I really like all these cool techniques. This is paper towel texture. So just a regular paper towel that you glue down and then you cover it with paint, and the texture is great. Like if I move the book, you'll see. Trying to pick up the texture. You see the ridges. Quite fun. This is using some tags as textures, and same thing here, but with copy paper. Aluminum foil. Look how cool that is. This is so much fun. And this is brown bag, regular lunch bag, brown bag, and then painted over that. And it creates that fun texture. This one I didn't crinkle it, but the aluminum foil is obviously crinkled. And that is it. So that was the 40 techniques workshop.
I had tons and tons of fun.
Are you done?
No.
What's left to do?
I want to do the other sides.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, and I want to use as just back, maybe put some of this in and lots of scraps. Slap it on top kind of thing.
Oh, look at that, how it came out. That's beautiful.
Which one?
That one.
This page?
Oh, I like that.
They're silver.
I learned a lot. I learned I love pen pastels, and even type A can do this. I did it. It's stressful, but I did it.
So here's my book. You've seen my friend Kathy talk about this class. We had so much fun with this. This was the Vintage Chic workshop, and we were handed 5 pieces of regular cardboard, and we started by gessoing each of the pieces. Then we added some Inca gold all around the edges of each of the cardboard. And she gave us a whole bunch of Prima embellishments, as well as jute and canvas and some textbook. And we just decorated each pages as she was instructing us. Whatever text that you see is what I added at the end. Now my images, I didn't bring pictures for that class. I had a piece of pattern paper by Peon. We're lucky enough to get that collection in our store. I know it's really tough to get. And one of the papers of one of those collections is a whole bunch of images of kids, and so I decided to take that as my album, and I entitled this album Dear Lovely Girl because it is the beginning of a letter that I had received from an online friend, and the letter really spoke to me, so I decided to incorporate it in the album because we decorated only this side of each pages. So on the left hand side I was able to incorporate that text. So basically it's just putting a whole bunch of different embellishments that she gave us. I really like this. This is Tim Holtz vintage, what's it called? Clock? Is it a clock? Yeah, I guess. Watch, sorry. Those 2 wings that, I don't know where she got the wings, but they're a lot of fun. So, you know, I'm just going to walk you through because it's just basic. It's also incorporating some masking tape. She's a big fan of masking tape, and I really like the masking tape as well. The beginning of the letter says, "Are you suffering from destination frustration?" I really like that. So throughout the book, I've incorporated some paragraphs of the letter that I had received. This one was a lot of fun. You saw Kathy's page. Was it this page? No, it was this one. This is a lot of fun. These are the words. It's one of... they're part of Donna Downey's studio collection by Prima. They're canvas letters, but they're actually, they spell a word, so they come in a package. I had the Create package. I included the photo here, a big jute rope, which I love, some butterflies, and it turns out great because that girl has a butterfly for wings. And this is the page that Kathy's shown in the previous segment of this video. She's got a photo of her and her daughter. And love that flower by Prima. Love it. She's also a big fan of tags, which I also like. She's so cool. I just love the way she does her things. And this last piece here has a wooden window frame, so I was able to incorporate some of the small images from the paper. I'm laughing because there are some words here that I can't show on camera. It was part of her book text that she gave us, and she's a big fan of romantic novels. But not the clean ones. So my girlfriend Kathy was preparing this album for her family and her kids, and she started reading the page and she thought, oh, I better not include that in mine. So she gave it to me. I thought, you know, what the heck, my kids have grown up, and you know, the book is not about my family. So anyways, the text is in that window. And at the end I just wrote, you know, why this book came to be. So that's just for my reference. You won't be able to see the whole thing. This is Pan Pastel's workshop, and it's just a canvas panel that we use for that. In my next video, you're going to see me using the same techniques but on pastel board, which is another type of substrates. This is a pastel board, and it's made by M%, and it's got that very toothy surface. It's a wood board covered in clay. And oh my gosh, the surface is so amazing, so amazing. So if you have a chance, if you want to get into pan pastel, you can check out my video online at Scrapbook Central. I'll post the link down below. But I'm also including a sped up version of what I did in my next vlog. So if, you know, you can watch either. Pan pastel needs a very toothy surface. It needs to have something to grip on. So because the board is kind of like a smooth surface, she gave us each a piece of tissue paper that we glued onto the board with some gel medium. And then we used, I forgot to add some fixative to this, but then we used the hard stencil and we used various colors. She also showed us how to do a beautiful shadow with one of the soft tools, and also to use some white here for highlights. And then we use the stamp, one of the scroll stamps or flourish stamp from her collection. I had brought some alphabet stamps, so I just stamped the word art here at the bottom, and here it says follow your heart and live your dreams. And then we added some tags here at the top. That's it. That concludes the portion of my Donna Downey projects. I had a lot of fun. I thank Donna for her time that she spent at the store. She is so amazing. She is fun, vivacious, unique, very friendly and genuine, and she has a lot of knowledge to share, and she does it with so much enthusiasm. She's just amazing. In the next vlog, I will have the remainder of the projects that I had in the backlog. So once again, I thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will see you later. Bye!